on doing that. Like I'm not a fat I don't have a lot of fat on my body anyways, and I got a fast metabolism or a high metabolism, so it really ain't much for me to lose weight. But in order to fucking keep on doing that shit and having to work, man, fuck that.
Right, right.
I couldn't.
You get it one day, buddy.
I mean, if I would have been adamant about it, I probably would have been all right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit here and toot my own horn and say like I did have an NFL 40 time, like for an outside linebacker. But I just don't. I would have had to put on a lot more muscle, I think, because you think 6'1", you're like, oh, he's tall. In the NFL, that's average.
Right, right.
And especially like even in the NBA, it's 6'1", you small.
Oh yeah, you're definitely small.
You small.
Yeah, well, you got a 7'5" point guard.
Yeah. But no, if I probably could have been like a free safety or a strong safety if I would have stuck with it. Or I mean, maybe that could have been. I don't know. I never really.
Hell, Ray Lewis was only 6'2".
So I could have been a linebacker. I just would have had to put on more weight. No more muscle weight.
You're falling behind, Crimson.
But yeah, I ran like a mid 4.5, 4.6 40.
Right, right.
So I mean, I'm not no motherfucking Usain Bolt or no Tyreek Hill or no Devin Hester or no nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely was. I was faster than 70%.
Hell yeah.
And hell, my brother was even faster than me.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. Me and him are roughly about the same height, roughly about the same weight. But yeah, he was faster than me. My dad was too. But yeah, it was so much politics at Ben Davis, man.
Oh yeah.
Like that's the biggest high school in Indiana.
Claim the advantage. Now hold it.
Like most high schools, 9 through 12, they all go in the same building.
Right, right.
But Ben Davis, they got a whole separate 9th grade center.
Yeah, yeah, we had that in my city. We had that in Chicago.
The lead is ours.
Oh, is that where you went to school at? Is in Chicago?
East Chicago Central. Where Ethan
okay.
Moore played in Kewan Sword. That played
for
the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
They've taken the lead.
Yeah, we had a couple players from Ben Davis. We had a kicker. I think his last name was Anderson. He was back in the day. He ended up going to the NFL. And then who else?
We've taken the lead. Stay on task.
Fucking what was his goddamn last name? He played with my dad in the fucking when they won a state championship. I want to say his last name is Taylor. Corey Taylor. I think that. I don't know, but he was a running back with my dad, and my dad was a fullback, but they would switch on and off. You know what I'm saying? And he ended up going to college and shit like that, and getting drafted by the Ravens, and he was on the Ravens' first Super Bowl team.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the politics at Ben Davis is something else, man. Like if you got, everybody that like we wasn't like at that time we wasn't like poor, but we wasn't rich. You know what I mean? And then you see these other kids, families and parents that would donate to the team and the school, and bring food for everybody and shit. And of course their son's gonna get to play.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what it turned into. And I'm like, man, I whoop this motherfucker's ass every day in these drills. And how the fuck is he starting?
Right?
Yeah, because his parents is paying his way to start.
Gotta have that money, you know?
Yeah. But no, I just like school because of the bitches.
Yeah. Those are always fun.
Yep. I'll never forget, bro. We had this bitch in our school, bro. You know them real big, like I'm talking about, like they got front butts, they got them fupas.
Hell yeah.
She always wore this Reese fucking big ass orange jacket, bro.
Right.
So we started calling this bitch Reese Cup.
Oh damn.
And bro, like I'm not shitting you, bro. Like she was like 6'4", 6'5".
Damn.
Weighed like 3 something.
She had it going on. She had it.
Bro, you know how when that neck fat roll up and then it's like when they moved her head in a certain way, you see the fucking fat lines.
Right,
Like
right.
it's got a couple of them bitches and they crusty and ashy.
Damn.
Bro, this bro, she wore that motherfucking jacket every single fucking day for 2 to 3 years that she was at Ben Davis, bro.
Damn.
And I'm like, bruh, you can't make
The
this.
only jacket she had.
This is true.
Making fun of it.
This is true.
Y'all ain't worth a damn.
No, I know it.
That's alright. She'll be okay.
This is the best modern mess.
But she was the proudest.